Good evening, Mount Vernon. Today is December 10th, and this is our regularly scheduled city council meeting. Some housekeeping for those who are in the chambers, please put your phones on silent. We have two exits in the city council chambers. One is the double door on the right-hand side of the pews, and one is in the back marked by the exit sign. If there's an emergency, you can get to the steps. Do not take the elevator. Get to the steps straight out of the double doors. There's going to be a main staircase that'll take you down to the ground level. If you go out the back door, there's a staircase on the right-hand side that'll take you down to the ground level as well. We have, we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance, and we're going to have Deputy Clerk Riolano do it for us. Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Also, I forgot bathrooms. There's a ladies' restroom right outside of the double doors on the right-hand side. For the men, it is straight out the double doors by the main staircase. It's going to be on the right-hand side as well. We do have public speakers today because it is Wednesday. There is going to be a 4-minute time limit for speakers, and it'll be displayed on the clock. If you're online, we'll let you know when your time has expired. When I call speakers, please state your name and address for the record. And as a note, the city council members will respond to everyone after the last speaker has gone. Any comments, questions, council members? All right, we're going to start with the first speaker. Again, state your name and address for the record, and that's Miss Kathy Bell. Is she online? Okay, I'm going to come back to her. Miss Wilma Frank.
Yes. Good evening, Wilma Frank. I don't need to give my address. I came here this evening because on November the 25th, 2025, I went to the Dole Center to drop off some clothes for the burning victims. And after I left there, I went to Gramerton Avenue looking for a health food store. So I wasn't sure where the health food store was located. So I was walking down the street. And then I saw two young police officers. One was African American, and one was, I believe he was Hispanic. So they were blocking one of the store doors. So I went up to the African American police officer and I asked her, I said, excuse me, is this the health food store or could I go in there? And she looked at me like if she wanted to kill me. So, and she started staring at me, so disrespectful. So I said, officer, you speak English? So she didn't say anything. She just keep on staring with a nasty look. So I said, officer, you're supposed to be nice. You can't do that. So she really didn't answer me. She didn't address me. She didn't say anything. And then I left and I walked down the street and I found the store. And when I was coming back, I looked at her and I took her badge number, which I'm going to tell you. Badge number is 2009. And she looked at me again. I don't know this young lady. I am not here to get this young lady in trouble. I am here that somebody would speak to her about her job entails, what her job entails. She's a police officer. She's here to protect and serve and respect the community. I am 81 years old. I could be this young lady grandmother. And you just don't do this to anybody, for less a senior citizen. So I would like somebody, maybe she doesn't know what her job is. So I want somebody to speak to her and let her know that she cannot treat the citizens of Mount Vernon this way. She got to have respect for the citizens. I've been living in Mount Vernon since 1980. I always own a house, and I've been paying taxes, and I know I help pay her salary. So I deserve respect. The other thing I want to talk about is 4th Avenue. I have never seen any police officer walking or driving on 4th Avenue. When school is over, the children just take it over. My grandson has a business on 4th Avenue, and it's just terrible. Why there is police officer on Gramerton Avenue and not police officer on 4th Avenue. 4th Avenue is the main shopping area for Mount Vernonites. And there is no police officer there. I was in a store the other day. Am I ready? Ready? Can I finish?
Sure.
I was in a store and getting some yams. And this young man came in the store and he was scrutinizing the store. So I thought he was part of the owner. And then the owner came out and said, can I help you? And he just stood up and stared at her and walked out. But he didn't want to walk out. When he walked out, he was like outside, but scrutinizing the store. And the lady was scared and said, but he could do anything to you. And there was no police around. So we got to do better than that. Mount Vernon is a beautiful place, but we could do better. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Ms. Nicole Lucia?
Good evening. My name's Nicole Lucio, Mount Vernon, New York, 10552. My comments are regarding the errors in the building department's multi-dwelling inspection letter and the fee discrepancies. I recently received the multi-dwelling inspection letter, and several property owners received notices in error. Ms. Ashbury, who's the second deputy commissioner, she did take accountability and she assisted me in correcting my documentation, but there does not appear to be a plan to correct the errors citywide. And that resolution is long overdue. The second, more serious concern is that the fees listed in the letters do not match the fees that are officially posted on the city's website. To verify the information, anyone can type into Google fee schedule Mount Vernon. The first two links will take you directly to the city's website. Once you're there, navigate to permit application and fees, and then to the fee schedule. This section contains the most recent updated fee schedule. At the top of page 4, the fees for multi-dwelling inspections are $125 and $200. At the very bottom of that document, there's an important clause that states, notwithstanding any fees to the contrary, in any city ordinance, the above fee schedule shall control. This means that even if another ordinance, law, or older document lists a different fee, the fees listed on that website schedule override all of them. The online fee schedule is the governing document, and the building department must follow those fees exactly as posted, not the $500 fee that's listed in the letter. It's wrong. Because of this, the fees in the letter sent to owners are incorrect and must be corrected to reflect the actual fees published publicly by the city. I'm requesting that City Council address these inconsistencies, ensure that residents receive accurate information, and confirm that the officially posted fee schedule is the only schedule being enforced. I want to make a separate but related point. The council recently passed legislation to increase these fees, quite excessively in my opinion, in an effort to improve the budget outlook, I'm sure. However, the city's management services department still, to this very moment, has not updated the city website with the revised fee schedule. It's now almost 3 whole months. Management services budgeted $1.2 million for salaries and wages this year. The department has more than doubled its budget for system software and support. Yet nearly 3 months has passed and they have still not updated one of the most essential public-facing documents on the website. The delay is actually costing the city a lot of money. And the residents should not be penalized for the city's failure to publish accurate information. I'm asking City Council to investigate who's responsible for the lapse. It may fall under management services, the director of communications, or even the mayor. This failure is happening on multiple levels. Thank you.
Ms. Patricia Richards,
Yes, I'm here.
you can go ahead.
My name is Patricia Richards. At this time, I don't wish to disclose my address. My concern is the increase in the property tax at 7.6%. I know they had a meeting recently, but I want to know if the city council have any update for the residents that we know what is actually happening with the fees. And my second concern again is the traffic light at the corner of Washington Street and South Fulton. I almost made an accident last night with the persons coming up the hill and just going straight across while I'm going to work. And I think something needs to be done before someone dies at that intersection. And then I'm appealing to the city council if they could expedite putting a no turn on red or even cameras in the traffic light. And that's what I have to say for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Jeffrey Monroe.
Good evening, council. I actually came to, for the record, my name is Jeff Monroe, and wanted to actually pay homage to one of our community's most noble freedom fighters, Assata Shakur. Long live Assata Shakur. Was going to read from our Uhuru Movement's Burning Spear newspaper. You'll be seeing more of this, but I'm not going to read from it tonight. I'm going to say more that's coming out of my mind in the moment because number one, before I forget, these Audio-Technica microphones are an excellent modification to the schematic that you earlier purchased. I'm wondering where the old PZM mics are. I'm wondering if they were provided free or if they were refunded when they were replaced. I'm wondering if the schematic that replaced these microphones, which are the appropriate application, was actually done for free. I'm wondering if these are more or less expensive than the last microphones, and that's the kind of transparency we've never seen, at least in this particular example. I'm just wondering if I can get an answer for that particular question before I go on, or not before I go on, but at some point in the future. So to my point, that I think we don't get enough transparency, at least in this community, not from this body, not from most of our officialdom, quite frankly. I'm troubled that our community is now in a crisis because of our budget, as it should be. We should be responding in crisis mode because it is a crisis. What I'm a little unfortunately taken aback at is the level of crisis that some people are responding to as if it's a new crisis. This is not a new crisis. This is how the fascist state reacts. It actually codifies the commodification of land at the behest of corporations and unfortunately to the loss of the people. I think we should know this because this is the way the United States was basically founded. It's a colonial state. It's a fascist state. It protects the corporations. It gives away land. And today we call it gentrification. Our mayor actually, unfortunately, wills it. This body is unfortunately blessed it too. And this is what it is. I wish our people and our community in particular, especially our community of African descended and formerly enslaved people, knew more. But this is another, unfortunately, deficit of our so-called education system, but that's another issue. What I'm hoping that will actually do more to make people understand is that this fascist state, no, it's not new. It's not a Donald Trump manifestation. It's not new in 2025. It's as old as, quite frankly, the Dutch and English East India Company, right? Stealing land and people to commodify off of it again. Nothing new. In fact, it has local applications in Mount Vernon. You know, most of us don't think of the fact that the New York, Boston, Westchester line, which is a private railway, ran for maybe 25 years between 1912 and 1937, went bankrupt and frankly bought land rights from the state, but couldn't even pull enough profit to keep going. And what did it do? It went bankrupt and went away. Why does it matter to us? Because the land rights that they bought basically went back to JP Morgan and all this other capitalist protectorates, but they didn't have to take any kind of due regard to the land. They didn't have to tend to the infrastructure. They didn't have to modify even the proper filling in of the railway beds. Today, we still have a quarter mile of sunken land that used to be the railway bed. You can look at it anywhere you want when you drive along Fulton Avenue. You can't even drive across 3rd Street because the infrastructure of that station used to be the New York-Boston railway line because the state was not obliged to take care of the infrastructure. And of course, they're not taking care of it because they protect corporations, not the people. I think we should know that this is an ongoing menace to the people, and we should expect more from this body. We expect land to be going to things like farming, for instance. We have a government shutdown probably coming again in a month and a half. We have no food coming from institutions like SNAP and the like. And this body and this mayor has done nothing with the land use rights that it has to actually allow people to have local farming production and the like. We have basic human needs that this body and this mayor is not tending to. We need to deal with that. And our people need to be frankly, a little more angry, a little more resistant to this unfortunate reality. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Kathy Bell? Has she joined us online? All right, we're gonna get into the council responses, and I'm gonna start with Javon Boxhill. Councilman Javon Boxhill.
Thank you, Madam President. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming out. Start with Ms. Frank. Terribly sorry that happened. Of course, that shouldn't happen. And of course, we're going to speak to the supervisors responsible for that particular officer. But you can always feel free to go over to the police department yourself and just speak to them at the front desk, or no, that's not something that you're interested in? All right, that's fine. We'll advocate on your behalf. So we'll find out. I'll get to the bottom of that. Nicole Lucio, thank you for coming in. Yeah, and thank you for bringing that to our attention, because that's the first I'm hearing of this. So obviously, we're going to work with Corporation Counsel, Management Services to have the correct fee schedule up there. And Ms. Richards, I think she had the incorrect budget number. I think it's been updated since the 7.7%. It's down to 5.6, I believe. And Mr. Monroe, thank you again, always coming in with your information, always appreciate it. Thank you for noticing our new mics. They do work well, appreciate that. And feel free to always give your input, because like before, I was asking you to send us an email on what you think about what mics you do recommend, or anything else that's regarding the audio-visual system, because since that's your area of expertise. That's all my comments I have tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Potteet.
Thank you, Council President Brown. Ms. Franks, thank you for your comments. My mom is turning 80 next year. So there's no one who's a senior citizen that should be disrespected by the police. So I will follow up with the chief this evening. We have the officer's badge number, just so that she can understand, obviously, that, to respect taxpayers and residents. So the ask that you have isn't a crazy ask, it's one that you should ask. And so we as council will follow up and make sure that happens. Ms. Lucio, Nicole Lucio, thank you for your comments. As my council member, Thompson always says, we as council can't be everywhere. So we're always grateful when residents come in and tell us what the issue is. I texted the building commissioner just to let him know of the issue. I don't think it's buildings, as you mentioned. I think it's management services, but we'll jump on this tomorrow and figure out what the discrepancies are and make sure that we solve. Ms. Richards, I'm going to defer to Councilwoman Gleason on the traffic issue when it comes to Washington and South Fulton. Mr. Monroe, it's always a pleasure to see you. As Councilmember Boxell has said, any feedback you can give us on the mics, please give it to us. The conversation that you brought up about capitalism versus socialism versus other forms of government, it's a very interesting conversation. I just wish we had more time here to flesh it out, but thank you for bringing that up. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Councilwoman Gleason.
Thank you so much. Ms. Frank, thank you very much for coming and bringing your thoughts. That is an ongoing conversation with the police department on also not just training police-wise, but also training customer service-wise. And we've had many conversations with the chief of police. The one thing that he has encouraged the public to do, and a lot of people don't want to get a police officer in trouble. They just want them to have better training, a better outlook when it comes to engaging the residents of the city of Mount Vernon. So they're aware that there has to be increased training when it comes to, it's not really customer service, but it is customer service, right? So I'm glad that you got the badge number. I'll definitely follow up with Councilman Potteet because that lands under his committee. You're absolutely right regarding 4th Avenue and Gramerton Avenue, and the police are always on Gramerton Avenue. And the sector car has been focused around Prospect, Gramerton, by the McDonald's and over there. I will speak to Councilman Potteet about adding that 4th Avenue area because once they disperse from Gramerton, they follow it down 4th Avenue. I've witnessed that myself several times. The school has been notified also, and they have been helping out with that problem over there. But thank you again. We appreciate you coming here. Miss Lucio, I have heard that same issue regarding multifamily dwellings getting a third notice where they feel like they didn't get their first or second notice, but you are the first single-family resident, right? You're not in a multi-family dwelling. You're the first complaint I heard about that, and I will definitely be following up with Councilman Potteet. I also put inquiries into the buildings department regarding some of the errors or perceived errors to make sure that they research and investigate it and make corrections wherever they need to. Ms. Richards, this is not the first time that you've come to council. We did put Washington and Fulton on a special alert. I will follow up with the police department and Councilman Potteet on that. And Mr. Monroe, I met with you, I think it was my first year on council, and I agree with you. I think some of the land that the city owns, now that we're in this situation where there's a lot more food insecurity. I mean, I saw it tonight. 65 dinners went out of the soup kitchen and it's a rainy night. And a rainy night at the soup kitchen, maybe 30 dinners will go out. So people are actually battling the cold and the rain to come out to get food. And I think we definitely have to follow back up on that and see what land is really available that could be earmarked for farming, because it is becoming something that the community is looking to do. And with that being said, that is all I have, Madam President.
Awesome. I hear that Councilman Thompson is online. Would you like to respond? Just kidding.
No, I'm online, but I can't do anything right now. Thank you.
Okay. No problem. So yes, Ms. Frank, I'm sorry that you experienced that. I don't think it's just seniors that police officers should be respectful to. I think they should be respectful to all community members, regardless of the age. I will actually, I heard one of the council members said they were going to follow up with the chief to make sure that is addressed, but it is an ongoing thing. We do have a customer service issue in the police department, whether you're calling online. This is the first time I'm actually hearing someone say that it was in person, and it seems to be unnecessary based on the conversation that you've given us. But I agree that, we should respect the community members here. So I will definitely also be following up with the chief to make sure that it is addressed with the officer. Just want to confirm the badge number was 2009. Okay, thank you. And I think Councilwoman Gleason addressed the police on Gramerton. Ms. Lucio, I agree that the fee schedule should have been updated. I can't tell you whose direct responsibility it is, but all departments other than the clerk's office fall underneath the mayor's office, right? So you're saying, is it the mayor? Is it management services? Management services is over IT, but all the management of every department besides the clerk's office falls under the mayor's office, right? I think part of the issue is there's no set up project team. So when legislation is passed, there's not a meeting that says all departments that are affected by this legislation, let's get in a room so that we can implement it. I think if that was done, some of these issues will be alleviated. But I can't tell you, I know you asked for exactly whose responsibility is. I'm not sure whose responsibility is, but I'll make sure, Councilman Potteet said he'll make sure that the updated fees are on there. With regards to the error, I wasn't really clear what type of error was in, and you can come up to the mic, but what type of error was in your document so that I can have an idea when I speak to buildings tomorrow?
Thank you for allowing me to dialogue with you on it. So it's actually on the website, the fee schedule says $125 and $200 is the maximum for multi-dwelling unit inspections. In the letter that came from the buildings department, the fee is $500. So on that fee schedule at the very bottom, it says, notwithstanding any fees to the contrary, in any city ordinance, the above fee
I got you,
schedule
Ms.
shall.
Lucio.
So
But
that letter has to be retracted, and we may very well owe people money who have already paid because they paid the wrong amount.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, I'll get that addressed with buildings tomorrow. And actually for any fee schedule, just so, and maybe this is something that Corporation Council shall address, that language shouldn't even be at the bottom of a fee schedule, right? Because the ordinances of the city council is what controls things in the city, not a fee schedule that was posted by a commissioner. So I think we need to address that in some type of training with the commissioners or with the mayor's office. Thank you, Ms. Patricia Richards. So you asked about the updated tax increase. From my understanding, and clerk, please correct me if I'm wrong, the one that was voted on by the Board of Estimates at the last meeting was a 5.41% increase. 47% increase. So as of
And
right
it's up-
now,
It's up on the website under budgets. There's only one up there for 2026, and that's the updated.
okay, so I don't know if you heard the clerk, she's a little shy, Ms. Richards, but the updated budget for the city is on the website under the 2026 budget. Just so you know, the stage that it's in, was passed by the Board of Estimate to come to council is 5.47. And what that means is that the council holds a public hearing, which I believe, is it scheduled already? Clerk, that's for you.
Yes, it is Tuesday, the 16th at 6. Oh, it's on the walls. Good. Right there. It's on the walls. What does that say?
She can't see, she's online.
I'm blind, but it's on the wall. And if you scan the QR code, that takes you to the 6 p.m. Thank you. Thank
Okay, so that's Tuesday, December 16th. at 6 p.m. right here in the council chambers. The council will hold a public hearing, and you don't have to sign up to speak at that. You can just join online or come into the chambers, and you can address any concerns you have with the budget with the council. And just as a note, I always like to point out that once the budget gets past the Board of Estimate, the council has limitations on what can be reduced, such as salaries can't be reduced, positions cannot be removed, expenses have the ability to be reduced. All right. And with regard to from my recollection, this is the third straight meeting that Ms. Richards has come to talk about Washington and Fulton. I know you said you were going to talk to the chief, but can we talk to DPW as well?
Yeah, I was just gonna update that for you. I'm gonna talk to DPW also. I
Okay.
apologize. I meant to add that in there.
Yeah, and just, Ms. Richards, just so you know, the council doesn't put the signs out or doesn't direct them to put the signs out. DPW or the police department has to determine whether or not they believe that the traffic flow is going to be correct, that they believe, that it won't be any unintended consequences. So Councilwoman Gleason said she's going to touch base with DPW as well. Mr. Monroe, to answer one of your questions, only the answer I had about the mics is this was at no additional charge to the city. The other questions I would ask Councilwoman Gleason, because it's her committee, to follow up with the Commissioner of Management Services to see there was no additional charge. So I'm not sure if those mics were returned in exchange for these or if they were given to us in addition. So I can't answer those questions. And with regards to the farming, so one of the things that's in the comprehensive plan was starting to use some of the city-owned property for different reasons, including farming, just temporary spots. I think after February, when there's a scheduled city auction for the city-owned properties, the city will be able to evaluate which properties at that point the city still owns and which can be used for some farming, et cetera. That is all I have. Any additional comments or questions from council? All right, we're going to move into a presentation. Thank you. We're gonna have, give me 1 second. Councilman Box Hill, do you want to take this?
All right, so I see all of well, not all, a lot of the young professionals in Mount Vernon came to be honored tonight. And I chose this organization to be honored because well, I know they don't do this to be honored, but they're pretty involved in the city. The city is a better place because of young professionals of Mount Vernon. They do a lot of things. Trash cleanup in the summertime. I mean, they go around communities and they're just volunteer. They get a huge crew out there and they're picking up trash. They're making our neighborhood look good. The clothing drive, the toy drive, their response to the fire 2 weeks ago. I mean, it was amazing the way you guys galvanized the troops and everyone was out, and we didn't have to ask anyone twice, and people were just signing up to, and amongst other things, the soup kitchens and all the other activities. So again, I know you guys don't do this to be recognized, but I think it's important to point out when you guys do something like this in the community, because it kind of encourages other people to join in and, help and make Mount Vernon a better place. So at this time, I'd like to bring YP forward, young professionals forward, and give them their roses.
Awesome.
Anyone else wants to, I know.
Councilman Gleason?
Yeah, I think the young professionals emulate exactly what we want to see the future leadership of Mount Vernon to represent. You guys have definitely stepped up, stepped in, especially when you weren't even called. You saw a need, you got out there and you worked, and you're always there. And whether it be an emergency, whether it be initiating a cleanup of areas that are heavily traveled, you guys are always out there with your tools, out there with extra tools for all other volunteers. And like I said, you're everything that I would like to see in the future of the city of Mount Vernon. And I thank you so very much. This is for me, this was the best idea ever for us to be able to come and honor you guys. Because not only do you do the philanthropic stuff, you also got engaged in making sure that you guys hosted a candidate forum. You made sure that everybody was there. And from my perspective, you guys asked very good questions and really what you guys would like to see the city of Mount Vernon look like. So I always have that in the back of my mind, and I'm really proud to be here tonight and to help to honor you guys for all the great work that you did. Because I think that sometimes when people are out there working, we don't give them enough thanks. We just expect them to be there, but we want you to know that it's greatly appreciated. It's greatly appreciated by the electeds and also the people that get to walk through the streets of Mount Vernon. So thank you so very much.
Councilman Thompson, would you like to say anything? While he's thinking, Councilman Potteet?
Thank you, thank you, thank you. One of the issues we have in Mount Vernon is our young professionals are leaving. So thank you for staying, and thank you for doing the work, and thank you for making this a better community.
All right, Councilman Thompson, I'm gonna give you another try.
I sent you something to read, please. Thank you.
Oh, I don't,
What?
can someone read it from, I don't have that phone on me.
Something?
Is it via email or did you text it?
I just texted over to be read. Thank you.
Okay, Councilman
read it.
Newton has it.
You ready?
Yeah.
From Councilman Thompson, please let the young professionals know that I appreciate everything they have done and are doing. Oh, well, hold on. And are doing in our community. I will speak to all of them again at a later date. They are awesome.
Awesome, awesome. Young professionals. Thank you, as everyone has said. I'm pretty sure I know everyone and honored to have been a part of the organization until I aged out and then didn't age out, but that's neither here nor there, clear. But the work that you all are doing is amazing, right? I echo what Councilman Box Hill said, to see everyone coordinating around the fire, taking days off of work, volunteering, helping out, staying later than anyone else. It's just amazing to see. And I think sometimes there's a generation of us that lose connection with the community. And I think you're helping, bridge that gap, helping keep that glue. So thank you for always showing up. Thank you for being gracious. Thank you for hosting amazing events. If you haven't joined, you should join. What's the age group these days, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, up until 40. Wow. No, it was like 30 when I was turning, but it's okay. I forgive them because you're doing amazing work. So again, thank you. And I know there's so many of you doing different things, right? And I think you bring so much together. Like I know Carrie's at the Wartburg doing things for our seniors. I know Kalia's big time. She's with the governor, right? And she's kind of still at City Hall the way she helps out here, right? Just everybody. I'm not going to go through the list. You all are amazing, and I'm excited that we get the opportunity to honor you. So congratulations, and come on up. Let's take a photo.
Also, can we give them a quick plug? So if you want to sign up to be young professionals, what do you have to do, right?
Can somebody come to the mic, because they need to hear you online.
There you go. Okay. So we're live on Facebook and YouTube.
So if you're interested in signing up to be a young professional, there is an application process, but it's not a accept or deny. It's just for us to get to know you better, the type of industry you're in, what you want to gain from being a part of the organization. And then after you fill out the application, you meet with the executive board. We just get to know you better. And then we see what your needs are, and then you're accepted. And then there is a membership fee, and that's on our website. I won't go over that now, though.
Okay.
But thank you for the recognition. We appreciate it.
Is there a website?
What is the website?
youngpromv.org. And then we're also on Instagram, Young Professionals MV.
Awesome. Councilman Box Hill, do you want to read the resolution?
All right. It's kind of long, so bear with me. Whereas the city of Mount Vernon is strengthened by the commitment, leadership, and community spirit of emerging professionals who dedicate their time, talents to uplifting the residents of our city. And whereas the young professionals of Mount Vernon, YPMV, have become a driving force for civic engagement, service, and positive change, mobilizing young leaders and contribute meaningfully to social and economic well-being of Mount Vernon. And whereas YPMV has actively engaged in volunteer initiatives that directly benefit residents, including organizing and participating in community cleanups, assisting local soup kitchens, coordinating winter clothing and toy drives, and providing vital support to families impacted by the recent fire of Cottage Avenue. And whereas the organization continues to create opportunities for mentorship, professional development, and leadership, empowering young adults to play an essential role in shaping the future of Mount Vernon. And whereas the dedication of the young professionals of Mount Vernon reflects the values of civic responsibility, collaboration, innovation, and community pride, qualities that enrich the city and inspire others to serve. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the City Council extends its heartfelt appreciation to the members and volunteers of Young Professionals of Mount Vernon for their meaningful contributions to our city, continued efforts to inspire, uplift, and empower the next generation of Mount Vernon leaders. Thank you.
Would someone or some folks like to come up and say some words from the young professionals? Not too long now, but please do.
Oh, there we go. So they sent me up here, so I'm gonna make this very brief. We just want to say thank you to everyone on the council board for giving us this honor. We do a lot of work behind the scenes and outdoors, as you all have seen. We have a lot of stuff coming up as well. The toy drive is on Sunday. We're still trying to partner with other organizations throughout not just Mount Vernon, but Westchester County as a whole. And yeah, we're just very grateful to be able to serve the community. Please feel free, if you see any event that you're interested in, you want to come out, you don't have to be a member. You can just show up and give back to the community. Did I leave anything out or is that good? We're good. Oh, so yeah, we need donations for the toy drive. So if anybody
I
finds it in their heart,
absolutely. I designate Councilman Potteet. He'll donate some
no
money.
problem. We love to hear that. We love to hear that. We accept cash, Zelle, checks, money order,
Gotcha.
everything. Yeah. All right.
So,
Thanks.
Madam President?
Councilwoman Gleason?
Okay, so when are you gonna be distributing the toys, or where are you gonna be distributing?
Sunday at Double Doors from 12 to 4.
This Sunday?
This Sunday?
Yes,
Okay.
December 14th.
And what's the age groups?
Oh.
Okay, great.
All ages?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Are you
Yep.
doing it with any other organization or no, just you guys?
Just us.
All right, thank you. At what time?
Nah.
What time is it at?
12
to
p.m.
4.
to 4 p.m.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ladies and gents. Hope you have a great night if you're not sitting down, and congratulations again. All right, council, we're gonna move into the tally sheet. We're gonna start with legislation and public works.
Thank you, Madam President.
Mhm.
Item, what? Oh, it didn't go on. Oh,
YP, can y'all keep it down for me, please? Thank you.
okay. Item number 1, Mayor's Office, Office of the Mayor, an ordinance amending Chapter 126, Article 6 of the Code of the City of Mount Vernon, establishing updated sewer rents and refuse sustainability. That's on the agenda. Item number 2, Department of Public Works, an ordinance authorizing the Commissioner of Public Works to complete the Project Management Institute authorized on-demand PMP exam purchase that is called for. Item number 3, Public Works, Department of Public Works, an ordinance authorizing the establishment of a red tag bulk item disposal program administered by the Department of Public Works. That is on the agenda. Item number 4, Public Works, Department of Public Works, an ordinance amending Chapter 140, Article I, Section 140-4 of the Code of the City of Mount Vernon entitled Garbage and Rubbish Collection to authorize a bulk waste item disposal service section. That is on the agenda. Item number 5, Public Works, Department of Public Works, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the New York State Environmental Facilities Corporation Green Resiliency Grant for the Brush Park Green Infrastructure Project, the award up to $4.4 million. That is on the agenda. Item number 6, City Council, an ordinance authorizing the transfer of funds to cover the costs of contracted outside services. That is on the agenda. I don't believe I have any add-ons. No. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Gonna move on to human resources. Do you want your co-chair to cover it, or are you gonna handle it, Councilman Thompson?
Co-chair is gonna cover it. Thank you.
Okay.
That's me.
Go for it.
Item number 7, City Council, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Mount Vernon, New York, honoring Dr. Glenn A. Davis. Number 8, City Clerk, City Council, resolution of the City Council of the City of Mount Vernon, New York, recognizing and honoring New York State Majority Leader Andrea Stewart Cousins. That's on the agenda. Item number 9, City Clerk, City Council, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Mount Vernon, New York, recognizing and celebrating the 60th birthday of Reverend Dr. Stephen W. Poe. That is on the agenda. That is all, Madam President.
Thank you, Councilman Gleason. Gonna move on to public safety and codes.
Thank you, Council President. Department of Buildings, and ordinance amending ordinance number 6 adopted by the City Council on November 12th, 2025, entitled an ordinance authorizing the acceptance and award of request for proposals RFP number 4 for third-party construction inspection and consulting services to Labella Associates is on the agenda. Item number 11 is for information purposes only. Item number 12 from the fire department and ordinance authorizing the contingent permanent appointment of Captain Roderick Hines to the position of Deputy Fire Chief within the Mount Vernon Fire Department is on the agenda. And number 13 from Public Safety, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with Citizens Observer LLC, tip 411 for subscription services from April 1, 2026 through March 31st, 2027 is on the agenda, and that's all I got.
Thank you, Councilman Potteet. Sorry, I didn't ask if anyone had any question for Human Resources, LPW, or Public Safety at this point.
I did have a question.
Councilman Box Hill?
Can you, I guess this was Caitlin. Number 2, the,
To the sewer rents and refuse sustainability fee.
No worries.
yeah, that one. They, what are we voting for? There's a couple of things in the attachments. The trash collection amendment. It's
Sorry, Councilman Box Hill, which item are you talking about?
2.
Number 2?
Number 2 is actually the
The red tag
certification.
program.
You're talking about item number 1, the refuse?
Item number 2 on the tally sheet or the agenda?
I'm looking at the computer, so I guess the agenda.
You're probably looking at the,
Yeah. Did they, do we have the comparison for number 1?
the comparison between what's been taken in and.
No, just the old fees versus the new fees. So, like,
The old fee versus the new fee?
yeah,
The old fee is $200 per dwelling unit per year. And the suggested updated fee is $225.
okay.
But there's not just one fee. There's an updated schedule that's in the referral letter.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. It said 225, 110,
Mhm.
223.50, 725. What are those? I guess I would have to pull the old, the current resolution or that chapter, the section of the charter to see what it's moving from, because it's saying low income senior unit is 110. Is that what is that moving from? What is that coming from? I'm not sure either. All right, you go ahead. I guess I might see if I can have time to look it up.
Okay, any additional questions for any other committees?
Yeah, I guess these fees are based on what are these what the neighboring communities are using, or this is based on what? What is the new amounts? What are the new amounts based on? How did they come up with these numbers? That's, I guess, basically my question.
How they came up with the actual number of how they increased it, I do not have that answer for you. I know that they looked at other municipalities, but I can absolutely text the commissioner. Hang on.
It's the mayor's office that sent this, so it would likely be the chief of staff. But I mean, it should also say what the comparison is in the referral letter, so that you don't have to do all this digging around. So if council wants to, we can put this off to the next agenda until you get answers, if Councilman Gleason wants to do that.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Any objection from Councilman Potteet or Thompson?
I'm just curious if you can find out answers.
No objection.
Well, if it's not.
Find it out before we vote?
Right. If it's possible to find out in the next 5 minutes, great.
Okay, I mean.
And we should put it off.
All right, got you. So that will be on, we'll just keep going and then we can decide on the floor. I had a question about the the red tag bulk fee. I called Commissioner Bush and suggested some changes to this like the structure, like an example being having different rates for commercial versus residential. and asking for the comparison of fees for municipalities. Did you get any of that information, Councilwoman Gleason?
No, I did not, but as you're talking, I'm texting the commissioner to see if he'll answer.
I mean, he won't be able to answer in time for me to vote yes for it tonight, but I appreciate it. All right, that was it. We're gonna move on to finance and planning.
All right, number 14 from the assessor's office. An ordinance authorizing the issuance of revised tax bill for 60 West First Street, Mount Vernon, New York. That's pertaining to tax years 2022 to 2025. This one is on the agenda. 15 from the Controller's Office, an ordinance authorizing adoption of a austerity budget framework and establishing centralized expenditure controls for travel, membership dues, training, and education. That's on the agenda. 16, we just did, is the resolution recognizing the young professionals of Mount Vernon, and that's on the agenda. '17 from the city clerk, a resolution of the city council of the city of Mount Vernon authorizing the off-street parking lease agreement with 20 South Second Square CMV LLC. That is on the agenda. 18, 19, 20, and 21 are called for.
18, 19. I missed Monday's meeting. Was there a reason discussed on Monday?
Yeah, this was discussed Monday. You want to know?
Please, if it's not too much.
Corp councils, they're gonna update the resolution to add some additional information that was in the attached packet.
Okay, thank you. You have an add-on as well, Councilman Box Hill.
I do have an add-on. That. Number 22 from the Controller's Office, an ordinance authorizing the implementation of Comp 2025, this 24A tax interest amnesty program for residential and commercial properties. That is on the agenda.
Madam President?
Councilwoman Gleason?
I think in the interest of transparency and clarity for the public, could we, can you give us a summary of what number 15, the comptroller is introducing?
15?
Yep, the ordinance authorizing the adoption of
15 is,
the austerity framework and establishing centralized expenditures.
Yep. So, you want me to read the entire letter? Okay, in light of persistent revenue shortfalls, declining sales, and the use of tax receipts, and the continued inability prior fiscal operations to realize projected revenues, the Controller's Office recommends the adoption of austerity budget framework. Skip ahead to strengthen fiscal discipline and ensure greater oversight of discretionary spending. The Controller recommends the removal of individual department budget lines for travel, membership dues, training, and education, and a more closely monitored tracking of other budget items such as overtime and equipment. These former categories should be consolidated into a single centralized budget line similar to the structure of contingency account under the direct oversight of the Board of Estimate and Contract. So that's what's happening.
Thank you so much. I did hear back from the commissioner in regards to the refuse increases. Obviously, what he read, what's in the letter and the charts of the other communities. And did you guys read through the full refuse sustainability study? Is that, I know I did. I don't know. Did anybody else read through it?
I mean, I'm assuming you're talking to Councilman Box Hill, but what does that have to do with the fees and the old fees?
I'm sorry?
Is this answering Councilman Box Hill's question?
How we drive the fees.
But I thought his question was, what were the previous fees?
So
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going by,
Was I wrong?
that was my question. And Keno for Management Services, he was able to send me an what's the fees are currently.
Okay.
Yeah.
My apologies.
Just a comment on the fees.
Councilman, Potteet?
So we now have the old fee schedule. It's roughly a 10% more or less from the old fees. Some are up 20%, some are up 10. But bigger than that, I think it's important that we support our departments on the increase of the fees. And here's my simple rationale. Property taxes have gone up 40% in the past 5 years. What that tells us is the cost of us doing business, because we're not levying tax increases for no reason. It means that the cost of City Hall and the cost of us doing business has gone up around 40% in the past 5 years. So it stands to reason that our fees should also be going up similar to at least similar to our property taxes, probably more. So I'm in support of this. Buildings will be coming with also an increase in their fee schedule to the next meeting. But that's my rationale for supporting this, and as well as supporting buildings with their increase in the fee schedule.
Councilman Gleason?
So I'm very conflicted by this. And I'm going to tell you why I'm conflicted. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. And it's really nothing against the administration. And it's not an attack on any individual directly in any way. I feel that increasing the fees is not actually what we should be doing. We should be, basically tightening the rope in other areas, right? Now, we keep going to the public, okay, and I get it. Health insurance, everything goes up. I get it. But when we're looking at the whole budget as a full budget, okay, there are other areas that we have to be accountable for, and we have to be accountable for them. And now we keep going out to the public and asking them for more money from them, right? So, I mean, we're asking for more money, and I think one of the residents said, asking for more money, am I getting better service, right? And that's where I'm conflicted, because I feel like we raised fees. I'm fully on board with it. I've supported everything that was a great idea here. I'm sure I'll get beat up for it tomorrow, maybe by some of the public. But the reality is, we're not getting the same in return. Right? So are we going to continue to do that? I mean, I'm encouraged with, an austerity budget. I know it's very tight, and I know that it took an awful lot of time to get to this point. But like I've said in the past, we're behind an 8 ball. Okay? And it's like, if we don't pass this budget, we have no operating funds going into the new year. But then in the same respect, there's not a lot of time for us to really review and put processes and procedures in place to protect the residents. Right? So we're oversight. And that's just how I feel. I feel like I'm one of those same taxpayers that is going to pay a $500 fee for a multi-family dwelling, actually $750. Okay? And then I'm paying another 5.4% in increase. So I feel it just as bad as everybody else. And I'm also in a position where I see the cost of everything. And it's a double-edged sword. So that's my feeling. And, I mean, I also get what you're saying too. We should be at the level of everybody else, right? But if we're not giving those same services, how do we continue to increase?
Councilman Box Hill?
No, I was suggesting that, maybe could we have the department could speak to the specific item as to, why these fees are necessary? What are the constraints right now with
Sure.
collection?
I mean, and I think that's a great idea, right? And I think that,
Well, Councilman Gleason, let
sorry.
Councilman Box Hill.
Yeah,
Sorry, my apologies.
No, that was it, because I mean, I guess there's a lot to unpack in just a referral letter. We see, what other communities are paying, what they were suggesting the fees should be for Mount Vernon. And, you know, there's some, a short description as to why they want to do this. But, yeah, I mean, as a resident taxpayer, we want to know, so maybe they could flesh it out a little bit better for us so they can explain what's really happening here and what do these fees really represent.
Madam President?
I think Councilman Potteet
Okay.
was first.
Thank you, Council President. Councilman Box, I think that's an excellent recommendation. We definitely should have the commissioners come and give their rationales to why we're doing this. But there is a cost of doing business. And I think as council, we can't have a blind eye to that. So we are asking property taxpayers, many of them that don't use any services of City Hall, to stomach an increase of 40% over 5 years. And if we're doing that, at a minimum, we should ask people that use the services of City Hall, even if they don't get better. And Councilmember Gleason, I fully hear what you're saying. And I think two things can be right at the same time. We've done a bad job of making sure that service delivery is up to par. We have. Whether it's individual council members, whether it's the mayor, whether it's some combination, we should do a better job. And at the same time, that the cost of doing those services, they've gone up. And so we still have to pay, even for the subpar service delivery that we're giving. And if those numbers have gone up, we should then incorporate that in our fees, like we're doing that with our property taxes to taxpayers that many of them never come into City Hall and use the services.
Councilwoman Gleason?
So I'm going to say this, my brother. Speak for yourself when you say you've done a bad job, because I will tell you this. I am 24/7 engaged in this job. I have done a great job, okay, towing the line for the residents of the city of Mount Vernon. I will never say I did not do a good job, okay? I think that every commissioner has done their best with what they've gotten, right? Can we do more? Absolutely. But I will never say I did a bad job, because I'm on the phone 24/7. I'm speaking to every commissioner. I'm still a taxpayer. I still have people calling me for constituent services, and I try to do the best I can with whoever returns my phone call. So that's where I'm at.
Wow. Okay. Here's what I'll say. I do think that, I agree that, I'll say that the city hasn't been run the right reports. I think we do need to be able to see what the costs are as they relate to sewers, right? As they relate to trash. So as I was hearing you all go back and forth, a suggestion would be whether people vote for this refuse fee or not, require the comptroller's office or DPW to track the true expenses so that we can say whether or not the refuse fee is actually covering the costs that it's supposed to cover, right? So it's supposed to cover the cost of sanitation. That current report, because when the recommendation came forth, I called the comptroller's office to receive that, and it's not all in one place. So what we can absolutely do this year is require that report from the comptroller's office or from whoever we want. I think is better suited in the comptroller's office, but they would have to work with DPW to actually identify what personnel is there, what retirements go into that, what, how much the truck's maintenance costs, right? And it has to be a comprehensive look, so that there's a reason, a justifiable reason to raise it in the future. Based on the refuse fees in other communities, even at the proposed rate that the mayor is proposing, we are lower. And out of the communities, we pick up more trash than all of those communities, right? So I'm leaning in the direction of raising this even without that report, because we provide those services. So people can't say that DPW is not picking up their trash 2 times a week. They may miss it right? They may miss it, right? And then what they also do, they're outside picking up large items, right? And those aren't incorporated in the fees. So that's my thought. Any additional comments, suggestions, Councilman Potteet?
One quick one, just as a wrap up, for our working session on Monday. Does it make sense, one, to have the DPW commissioner here to explain these fees, as well as have the building commissioners here to explain their fees that are coming, and as well to ask them for that information in terms of as fast as they can, but definitely by next Monday, give us what you have when it comes to cost and how the fees are matching up with those costs, just so we can have a fulsome conversation next Monday.
Yeah, and I think that's something that we can absolutely do. I'll be honest with you. You can have the buildings commissioner come here and explain, and it wouldn't be a chance that I would vote yes for those fees. I literally was on vacation and took my work phone because they wouldn't answer phone calls, right? And it's at the point where there are absolutely no systems in place. There's no accountability. They're supposed to get inspection reports in. They take 3 months to do that, which is completely unacceptable. So I don't care what the commissioner or the deputy commissioner says, the answer is no to an increase in those building fees. Just a FYI. Any other comments?
Madam President, Commissioner Bush is online.
Okay,
If we can afford him the time to speak.
sure. Commissioner Bush?
Good evening, everyone. Can you guys hear me?
You're a little muffled, but we can hear you.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to just left the gym. Is it better?
Let's try it. Go ahead.
You sure I could try to join from my phone if possible?
It's muffled, but can you all hear him? All right, you can go ahead. They said they can hear you.
One moment. Sorry. Hold on. I'm trying to join from my phone now, unless you guys can hear me better.
Okay, so what we'll do is let us know when you are ready. If you could send a text to Councilwoman Gleason, we'll keep moving on with the agenda until then. Oh, also just a question on the proposed framework from the comptroller's office. Did we have council confirm that's in compliance?
Recording in progress.
That's for you. Yeah, have we confirmed that this is actually legally allowed? Because it seems as if the BOE would be taking over the responsibilities of, and I haven't had the chance to research it, some of the responsibilities of the council. Doesn't that require a charter change when you change duties?
Yes, just changing that, so we should probably take a look at that. Which number are we talking about?
What number is it? The tally sheet, it is number 15. I mean, I know it can be centralized in a budget line, but the question about approving those things, isn't council responsible for appropriating the expenses?
Yes.
Okay, so I would just need confirmation whether or not it's legally allowed, not that I'm opposed to it. Just want to make sure that we're not in violation. All right. Any comments, questions, thoughts?
Yeah, thanks. So some of the fees, like the residential fee, it's 200 going to 225. Non-dormitory fees, 50 going to 55. Nonprofit dormitory is 100 going to 110. You got 650 going to 725. And the big one, the non-residential refuse fee, That is 2,000 going to 2,350. So the increases are kind of nominal in the large scheme, but yeah. So I just wanted to have that comparison, transparency. Thank you again, Keno.
Hey, I'm back, guys, if you can hear me. Oh, sorry.
No, go for it. Go ahead, Commissioner Bush.
Yeah, okay, so yes, the refuse sustainability fee. As you all know, DPW, I think, and thank you for saying that as well. We pick up more garbage than every other municipality within Westchester County. With that said, as you all know, the price of everything is currently going up right now. A few years ago, we did settle the contracts with the Teamsters Union, which increased all of their salaries, which we have 171 employees. Now, with their salaries going up, that also increases their insurance and medical as well. Simple math as well, too. So, for instance, our sanitation trucks, about 3 or 4 years ago, a standard sanitation truck cost about $200,000 to $225,000. Right now, that same truck is going for $300,000, a little bit over that. So everything that we, like I said, is going up piece by piece. Little things as such as our 4x4s just to get wood and stuff for our sidewalk repairs. Everything is going up across the board, and it's not just affecting outside people, but it's affecting the department as well. The municipality is paying higher prices for everything, and there's nothing that we can really do about that because we still have to provide the services. Just to speak on the services that we do provide, if you guys don't know, we do a lot more than every other municipality. For instance, picking up twice a week. We do our bulk collection every week. That's something that's not normal across the board. That's usually a once a month type of service. So there's a lot of things that we are doing to try to keep up with the demand. We also know that Mount Vernon is very densely populated, right? We have one of the densely populated cities in the region. But what comes with that is a lot of garbage. So the only way to keep up with this is to make sure that our fees are standard and across the board. And even when we raise them too, they should be a little bit higher, but we wanted to kind of keep it within range because we understand that there's a big increase with the tax itself. So the only thing, like I said, we can do in DPW is we're going to continue to make sure that we provide the services, but we also have to be fiscally responsible too and make sure that we're keeping up with the demand.
Thank you. Any additional questions about the refuse fees or anything you want Commissioner Bush to address? Commissioner Bush, we spoke previously about the bulk tag program and you were considering some changes. Did you not get around to it? Did you decide not to do it?
No,
or
yeah, we did do it. My deputy commissioner, Ulrich, he's working on it right now. We did take your advice and ideas. We're kind of just sorting it out and make sure it makes sense. So hopefully by the next meeting, we should have that resolved.
So we should pull the one that's on the agenda for tonight?
Yeah, there's other, yeah, yes.
Okay, thank you. Council, that's the red tag boat program, yeah.
Just the red tag, yes.
That would be both those resolutions then.
Yeah, we're gonna hold those.
Okay.
Thank you, Commissioner Bush. Council,
No
before you go, Commissioner Bush, Councilman Potteet.
Council President, Commissioner Bush, how are you?
I'm good.
Good. Quick question. Are any of these fees going towards capital? That I know ARPA paid for an awful lot a few years back, and we aren't going to have the benefit of ARPA going forward. Are any of these fees going towards a kind of a capital fund to pay for new trucks when they need to come up or new equipment when it needs to be purchased?
Yeah, previous discussions with the controls office, yes, that is the intent, to have that to go towards capital improvements. Right now, like I said, the price of the trucks are going up year by year. But the actual numbers that we can get that from the controls office, and he can kind of describe what percentage is going towards capital improvements. But yes, that is the intent. And also we're looking at implementing the a vehicle replacement program. So ideally we would want to purchase a new sanitation truck every year so we can keep up with the demand, and there's also make sure that our fleet is in good standing.
Got it. Thank you.
Any additional questions, comments All righty. Thank you, Commissioner Bush. Again, we appreciate you.
You're welcome.
And we're gonna, clerk, may we have a roll call, please?
Yes, Council President, Councilman Box Hill,
Present?
Councilwoman Gleason,
Here.
Councilman Potteet,
Here.
Councilman Thompson.
Remote and at home.
Thank you. Council President Brown.
Here.
Thank you.
In addition, Councilman Potteet, just a suggestion, if there was a, depending on what the fee is, right? Because you're limited with sustainable fees, refuse fees, right? On where that money can go is supposed to be used solely for sanitation. But if there's a fee that's coming in and you want it to go to capital projects, we have the authority as council to direct. We say a portion of this fee can go to our capital budget to assist the comptroller in building that capital budget.
You know, my only point was besides the cost of business going up, and I just checked on ChatGPT, and inflation has gone up 22% over the past 5 years. Hypothetically, then that means if nothing else changed, our fee should go up 22% since 2020. But then on top of that, if we're trying to have funds for capital too, then our fees definitely should be going up just to keep up with our capital needs and the inflation that's gone up 20-something% over the past 5 years. Whatever we put towards capital would then be on top of the 20% that services have gone up over the past 5 years. That's all.
Okay, thank you. We're gonna go into legislation and public works.
Thank you, Madam President. Item number 1, Office of Mayor, an ordinance amending Chapter 126, Article 6 of the Code of the City of Mount Vernon, establishing updated sewer rents and refuse sustainability fees. So moved.
Second.
On a question? Hearing none, roll call.
Councilman Box Hill.
Let's say aye first.
Say it again.
Aye.
Thank you.
Yes.
Councilwoman Gleason,
No.
Councilman Potteet,
Aye.
Councilman Thompson,
Aye.
Council President Brown.
Aye.
Thank you.
Item number 2, Department of Public Works, an ordinance amending Chapter 140, Article I, Section 140-4 of the Code of the City of Mount Vernon, entitled Garbage and Rubbish Collection, to authorize a bulk waste item disposal service section that is going to be held on the floor. Item number 3, Department of Public Works, an ordinance authorizing the establishment of a red tag bulk item disposal program administered by the Department of Public Works. That is going to be held on the floor. Item number 4, Department of Public Works, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the New York State Environmental Facilities Corporation Green Resiliency Grant, project number C3569402000, grant number 2344, for the Brush Park Green Infrastructure Project, award up to $4.4 million. So moved.
Second.
On the question? Hearing none, roll call.
Councilman Box Hill,
Aye.
Councilwoman Gleason,
Aye.
Councilman Potteet,
Aye.
Councilman Thompson,
Aye.
Council President Brown.
Aye.
Item number 5, an ordinance authorizing the transfer of funds to cover the costs of contracted outside services. So moved.
Second.
On the question? Hearing none, roll call.
Councilman Box Hill,
Aye.
Councilwoman Gleason,
Aye.
Councilman Potteet,
Aye.
Councilman Thompson,
Aye.
Council President Brown.
Aye.
Madam President, can I read off Human Resources?
Absolutely. Do we have a motion to take items 6, 7, and 8 as a block vote?
I would like to pass a motion, to have a motion to have items 6, 7, and 8 as a block vote.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Box Hill,
Aye.
Councilwoman Gleason,
Aye.
Councilman Potteet,
Aye.
Councilman Thompson,
Aye.
Council President Brown.
Aye.
Okay, item number 6, City Council, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Mount Vernon, New York, honoring Dr. Glenn A. Davis, MD, Item number 7, City Council, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Mount Vernon, New York, recognizing and honoring New York State Majority Leader Andrea Stewart Cousins. And item number 8, City Council, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Mount Vernon, New York, recognizing and celebrating the 60th birthday of Reverend Dr. Stephen W. Pogue. So moved.
Second.
On the question? On the question, roll call.
Councilman Box Hill,
Aye.
Councilwoman Gleason,
Aye.
Councilman Potteet,
Aye.
Councilman Thompson,
Aye.
Council President Brown.
Aye. All right, we're gonna move on to public safety and codes.
Thank you, Council President. And ordinance amending ordinance number 6, adopted by the City Council on November 12th, 2025, entitled "An Ordinance Authorizing the Acceptance and Award of Request for Proposals, RFP number 4, for third-party construction inspection and consulting services to Labella Associates." So moved.
Second.
On the question? Hearing none, roll call.
Councilman Box Hill,
Aye.
Councilwoman Gleason,
Aye.
Councilman Potteet,
Aye.
Councilman Thompson,
Aye.
Council President Brown.
Aye.
Number 10, an ordinance authorizing the contingent permanent appointment of Captain Roderick Hines to the position of Deputy Fire Chief within the Mount Vernon Fire Department. So moved.
Second.
On the question? Hearing none, roll call.
Councilman Box Hill,
Aye.
Councilwoman Gleason,
Overwhelmingly aye.
Councilman Potteet,
Aye.
Councilman Thompson,
Aye.
Council President Brown.
Aye.
11 from Public Safety, and ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with Citizens Observer LLC, tip 411, for subscription services from April 1st, 2026 through March 31st, 2027. So moved.
Second.
On the question? Hearing none, roll call.
Councilman Box Hill,
Aye.
Councilwoman Gleason,
Aye.
Councilman Potteet,
Aye.
Councilman Thompson,
Aye.
Council President Brown.
Aye. All right, thank you. Finance and planning?
Number 12, from the Office of the Assessor, an ordinance authorizing the issuance of a revised tax bill for 60 West First Street, Mount Vernon, New York, pertaining to tax years 2022 to 2025. So moved.
Second.
On the question? Hearing none, roll call.
Councilman Box Hill,
Aye.
Councilwoman Gleason,
Aye.
Councilman Potteet,
Aye.
Councilman Thompson,
Aye.
Council President Brown.
Aye.
13, an ordinance authorizing adoption of an austerity budget framework and establishing centralized expenditure controls for travel, membership dues, training, and education. So moved.
Second.
On the question? Hearing none, roll call.
Councilman Box Hill,
Aye.
Councilwoman Gleason,
Aye.
Councilman Potteet,
Aye.
Councilman Thompson,
Aye.
Council President Brown.
Abstention. I'm not sure if this is legally compliant.
All right, 14, a resolution recognizing young professionals in Mount Vernon, New York. So moved.
Second.
On the question? Hearing none, roll call.
Councilman Box Hill,
Aye.
Councilwoman Gleason,
Aye.
Councilman Potteet,
Aye.
Councilman Thompson,
Aye.
Council President Brown.
Aye.
Okay.
All right, 15, a resolution for the City Council of the City of Mount Vernon authorizing off-street parking lease agreement with 20 South Second Avenue, CMV LLC. So moved.
Second.
On the question? Hearing none, roll call.
Councilman Box Hill,
I'm gonna abstain from this one. The contract refers back to agreement with the council and the city in 2021 and some other new information that I'm just not been a part of that whole entire process, and I want to abstain for this.
You haven't been entire, what entire process?
The purchase and sale of this land and the subsequent
None of us are. The ladder was before all of us. This is the same project that came before us when I think it's the Trinity developers for what they deem Library Square. And what the council that you were on approved for them was that we'll do a parking agreement at a later date.
Thank you.
You can keep going with roll call.
Councilwoman Gleason,
Aye.
Councilman Potteet, Councilman Thompson,
Aye.
Council President Brown,
Aye.
Oh, and the add-on. 16 from the Controller's Office, an ordinance authorizing implementation of a Comp 2025-24 tax interest amnesty program for residential and commercial properties. So moved.
Second.
On the question?
I just want to say, I'm really glad about this because I did have a lot of residents come and ask if we were doing this again, so thank you to the Finance Committee and to the Comptroller for bringing this forward.
Roll call?
Councilman Box Hill,
Aye.
Councilwoman Gleason,
Aye?
Councilman Potteet,
Aye.
Councilman Thompson,
Aye.
Council President Brown,
Abstention. I didn't get a chance to review this. I didn't see, was this on Friday's materials? No, okay. Yeah, abstention. Cool. All right, any comments, thoughts from the council members?
Madam
Councilman
President?
Gleason?
I'd asked on Monday night, we lost a longstanding land use board member, Erwin Davidson, who was on the zoning board, planning board for over 30 years. I think it was the zoning board. So if at the end of the meeting, if we could do a moment of silence, I would greatly appreciate it in memory of Erwin Davidson.
All right. Any other council members? All right, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Like to make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Second.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilman Box Hill,
Aye.
Councilwoman Gleason,
Aye?
Councilman Potteet, Councilman Thompson,
Aye.
Council President Brown.
Aye. Please stand for a moment of silence. Thank you. Have a good night, Mount Vernon. Oh, the meeting is adjourned.